Coach Jill, welcome. We're here to talk about your article for our magazine, so thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me and for the opportunity.
Yeah, beautiful day today. It's Friday. Like it. How about yourself?
Yes,
There's a
it
delay, isn't there?
feels almost tropical at, mid 30s here. Yes, there is. I'm not sure why, but
Yeah, there's a delay happening, so we might have hard time, but anyway, we'll see how it goes. Always there's a way to do something, right? So let's see. So I wanted to bring Coach
right.
Jill today because she did contribute an article to our magazine issue that was launched on February 15th. It used to be called Parenting, Learning, and Living. Now we changed to Learning, Living, and Leading because we have expanded to help all humans of all ages and all stages. And it doesn't matter where you're at, where any seasons we could be blocked, and that is what we do, is to help you unblock yourself so that you can find the success you're looking for. So that is what Readiness OS is all about. So in this magazine we collected, I think, about maybe about 12 or 13 articles, all talking about how trying harder is enough, and we're moving on to the prerequisite of doing anything is readiness. That's what we're going to be talking about. So welcome, Coach Jill, and thank you for being here, and thank you for contributing to this magazine, an article. So before we get started, you know the drill with our group, right? We have to bring ourselves here and now, because if we're not here and now, we're somewhere else, right? Either we're in the
Exactly.
past, or we're in the future, and both of those places doesn't allow us to create anything. If we want to create, if we want to move forward with life, if we want to perform, if we want to learn, if we want to live, if we want to lead ourselves or lead other people in our life, we need to be here and now. This is the only place anything is possible. Everywhere else, I don't know if you tried it, I tried it many years, nothing happens. We just get stuck. If I'm in the past, I'm stuck with what? Playing my old stories. And usually I like to say I played, good memories. A lot of the time we spend on playing the ones that gave us pain and suffering and things that made us learn hard lessons, right? It's not just me, right, Coach Jill? Similar?
Right.
You
Very
you
similar.
you do the similar stuff? Yes, I'm hoping everybody's agreeing with me. So we tend to go to the worst of the situations and we replay it. But what happens if we keep replaying? We get stuck. We're not here. We're stuck, and nothing can be done about it. It's already happened. I don't know about you, but you cannot do anything about your past. Only thing you can do from the past is pick up all the lessons that were given to us as a gift. They were bad or good, but they were lessons. They taught us something. So pick all of those jewels out of there and then come back to now and here, because now you can use those lessons to do something about it, right? So that's why now and here is powerful. Another place I find myself going, what about yourself, Coach Jill, is the future. We like to think about our future.
Oh, yes.
Love to think about our future. It's good, right? Future thinking is good because obviously we have to think about our future. If I don't, then I would never have a plan. I would never have any motivations and goals and all of those things. But the thing is, if we project our past experience and think about our future, now we have it's like driving with the windshield that's so foggy and dirty, muddy.
Mhm.
We don't know where we're going because our past is projecting onto this future and not allowing us to see clearly what we want or what we can achieve. So that's usually what we do, most of us as human beings. So if we want anything in the future, again, what we can do is, it's there for us, it's coming for us. Future is almost always going to come for us, that's certain, right? But we just don't know what it is. So instead of me recreating with my past onto it, I'll just let it happen to me. I could bless it, I could release it, I could just let it into the universe or God or whoever you believe. They'll take care of it. And that allows you, look, if I let go of the past and release the future, that actually allows both of my hands to come here and now. Otherwise I'm carrying both of these this way, right? It's not here. I'm not centered. I'm all over the place. I'm scattered. No wonder we feel scattered and feel like chaos in our life always, right? Because our minds are recreating, reproducing, coming up with crazy ideas of our past and the future. So if we bring it here, this is the intentional place where consciously you're telling yourself, I'm going to be here, I'm going to create from here. I'm going to speak from here. I'm going to learn from here. I'm going to lead from here. I'm going to be living from here. So to bring ourselves here and now, what do you use, Coach Jill? Is there anything you use, any techniques to really bring us here and now?
Pray, focusing on the breath and just feeling that presence
Yes.
of being in the present.
Yes. Yes. So let's take a couple of, 3 breaths in and out so that we can come here and now, because it's really important, because it's Friday. Everybody's been busy and work and everything else is happening. So let's just take inhale for 4. Hold for 4. And then exhale for 8, letting go any attention from the whole week, everything, just let it go through your mouth, let it out. And drop those shoulders down because they probably up against into your ears, right? Because the stress just takes it up. So let's do that again. 2 more times. 1, 4, inhale for 4. Hold for 4. And really exhale for 8, letting go everything, all the stress, all the worries, everything you've been thinking about, everything about the past, just let it go. Just let it out. Okay, let's do that again. Inhale for 4. Hold for 4. And then exhale for 8, letting go through your mouth all the stuff you've been carrying, all this negative self-talk, everything else, everything about I should have done that, I could have done that, I should do this, right? All of that stuff, we can let it out. So now we're here. Now we're ready. So those of you who haven't ever read our magazines, we've been, launching these for the past year and a half. If you haven't read it, I actually included a link. You can click the link, and under the link, there's a password. The password is flow, all capital letters. If you click and put that password in, you can access this issue as well as all the other issues. And our next one is coming out on April 15th. So every 2 months we launch these, and they're full of wisdoms. So come and read it for free. It's all yours for free. So that's where you can find it under this video. So now I want to ask Coach Jill about her article and why she wrote it. So, when I asked for an article I needed for this issue, what made you want to contribute to this, Coach Jill?
Because I've been given a testimony of needing to pause, get into readiness, because being all tangled up just doesn't work. So I felt that life had given me many object lessons, which I then in turn can turn into using with my students, of not rushing the systems, of being ready, and instead of offering strategies, I offer presence and calm. And that's a new journey.
Yes. Feels good, right?
Really
Being in the place of calm. Yes. So in your article, when you say my life proved me wrong, what was the exact moment you knew trying harder wasn't going to save you?
When it felt like everything, all the pressures from being a mom, single mom, because I was a widow, and having all the pressure of family and all the pressure of work and just the pressure of life in general, and the pressure of administrators coming on me because of a student's actions at a concert. It just was like everything was coming in and closing down. And I realized that nothing was working, nothing. And I needed to just stop. And it was a good thing I did, because it was like carrying a lot of rocks.
Yes. We'd like to pack it up more.
Mm-hmm.
So what did breaking actually feel like in your body? The moment of...
It was a moment of light deep inside me, clarity, and it was very small at the time. It was like tiny,
Mm.
but it was at least a starting spot that could then grow
Mhm.
and expand as I learned to say no. Um, First of all, for myself, to say,
Mhm.
no, I'm not thinking that way. I'm not going that route again. I'm not accepting that.
Yes.
And um, it pulled me out of that fear, that fight and fawn kind of
Mhm.
where you just get stuck,
Yes.
blocked. So,
Yes.
yeah, it was needed. And how many times it just, it happens to us humans that all of a sudden we get back to something similar. And because of the experience, I can say, no, I'm not that person anymore. I'm not going there. I'm not accepting that. I'm a
Yes.
new, a new person in the present. So, yeah, with a future and a hope.
When people disappeared during this time in your life,
Mhm.
what did that reveal about life you had built up until that point?
That a lot of it was wrapped up in the identity of my husband and I as a couple. When people lose a loved one, it's amazing how the person has to deal with it,
Mhm.
but the friends no longer know what to do.
Mm.
It's like they have more of an issue than the person going through it.
I see.
And so there's an aloneness to it. And yet, anytime I've met other widows, we immediately connect
Mm.
because of shared experiences. Not identical, no one's ever is, but there's a richness in being a part of the Widows Club. And even though I'm remarried now, there's a part of me that is always
Mm.
relating to who I was as a widow. It's not
Mm.
forgotten. So,
It's a hard period of time for you.
mhm,
Mm.
yeah,
So you said God became my sole companion. What changed in your faith when performance stopped working?
I had to let go of myself and let him lead to learn his voice. The Psalms were amazing for me. Psalm 42 was my go to
Mm.
because deep calls to deep. I was thirsty for him, for the companionship, for hearing his voice, knowing his purpose.
Mm.
And the biggest thing was being a mom that had wisdom during raising two boys. And they were
Mm.
just 1 and 2 when their dad died. So it was an 18-year journey. And yeah, and also it gave me strength to um, just kind of, I learned an adventure in it, if that makes sense. There was an adventure to when I was weak. I had to let go and let God. And that was, how do I say, that's kind of like a tipping point to a lot of adventures and a lot of stories that um, I grew. I
Yes.
learned to trust. And the biggest thing is that my sons did, their friends did. And I started a widows club, if that makes sense, where we would actually meet and we would like go out for a dinner or we'd like have a painting party, that kind of thing. I started to learn to live again.
Mm.
So
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. So you wrote, I wasn't failing because I lacked effort. I was failing because readiness was missing. How do you explain readiness to someone who only knows how to push? Because that's our world, right? Everybody says, keep going, keep pushing, try harder, try even harder.
I ask people to breathe and sit in stillness and quiet and wait, because that is something we are so uncomfortable with. And I want to say that's because um, the ultimate quiet that we're afraid of is death.
Mm.
And I think that's why we're always trying to like rush and do and push and go, when actually it's in the pauses and the stillness that we find the peace and the calm, that then we can go into the storms.
Mhm.
So to explain readiness is to say you have to be calm and in present mind, and I like to say connected, so that um, you have a clarity coming through to know um, what voice you're listening to,
Mhm.
and that even talking to your brain and saying, wait a minute, I've been on this path before, this isn't the way I really want to go. What if I said the word yet instead of can't? What if it's just merely a not now, but could be future?
Yes.
And just flipping things so that um, it's possible to have hope. It's possible to move forward, but you have to be ready for it. And
Yeah.
how do you do that but through stillness?
Yeah.
So,
That uncomfortable space
mhm,
allows you to notice yourself, because I think a lot of us are just pushing through without even noticing ourselves. We're not home, right? We're not home here in ourselves. So yes, so noticing is the first step to any change, right? The awareness part. Awareness comes from being here, like you're saying.
mhm.
Yeah. Stillness. Yes. Thank you. Yes. So what are the signs a system is depleted but still performing? We've all done it.
Stress, short, lack of energy, um, tight, like just a tightness. And we sense it in ourselves, we sense it in other people. Our nervous systems are reading each other's all the time.
Yes.
So, yeah.
I mean, depleted can come in so many ways, right? It is less sleep, eating wrong things, just not caring about ourselves. Like we don't like it. Just there's no self love in many ways that could be depleted. Uh, Even sitting by ourselves,
Mhm.
spending time for ourselves. If there's no enjoyment in anything we do, we're just doing it because we got to go through the motion of doing it every day. Then there's a problem there, right?
Yep.
Yes. Yes. How do you know the difference between resistance and unreadiness? Somebody's resisting versus they're not ready.
They kind of can be both. Because if they're not ready, they're probably resisting. Um, but being resistant is, to me, putting out a wall that is an action. Um, and being not ready is more of a state of being.
Mhm. Let's to use an example, like listen, some of the parents are listening to us, right? So if a child or a student is resisting, what would that look like, and how would unreadiness look like, so they can understand what we're talking about. So unreadiness would be in a
On
classroom.
in a classroom, a student that's not ready is probably like looking all over, just not quite focused. I just came from teaching kindergarten music, so yeah, it's messing with something else around, distracted.
Mm.
And resisting is the not doing it
Mm-hmm.
at that age level. As a middle schooler, it would be not ready, would be not having your materials, not caring to open the book, like in a like sunk kind of energy level. Um, resistance is not doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Or they'll go do something else that they feel like doing in that moment and tell you that this is what should be happening.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah, so many ways they look very similar, right? That's why I asked. Like
Yep.
it could be taken like, yeah, it's very fine line to figure out what's happening, right? So why forcing readiness so damaging for long term in long term? Why is it by force readiness?
They need to know their dashboard. They need to know their nervous systems. They need to know who they are first as a human being and an ecosystem
Mm.
versus the pushing of being a robot. Complete your task, get it done. Why do I have to do that? It doesn't make sense. Why do I need to know this? Well, their curiosity isn't ready.
Yeah. So becoming a holistic neurogrowth success coach, how has that changed with how you approach your classroom, your musical, all the musical concerts and everything? How has that changed?
I bring more calm,
Mm.
which I instinctively did anyway, but now it is a deeper calm. I work the breathing with the kids. The beautiful thing is that we have to start with our bodies, warming them up, getting our body prepared, and part of that is the breath. So, with that, I use the breath to say, okay, your body's warmed up now. Let's go into you. Let's do the breathing. And I'll tell them which of the breathing exercises are helping them focus, which ones are giving them a little more energy that they're needing, which ones are just calming them. Or I'll do tapping with
Mm.
them when I'm sensing that they're needing more affirmation statements,
Mm.
when everything has gotten really heavy. So, yeah, there's a lot of ways that I can get them ready to learn, ready to sing. And I have kids that are forced into choir who haven't chosen it.
Mm.
So, working the readiness and that the specialness of getting ready,
Mm.
I kid you not, every class quiets down.
Wow.
Every age level quiets down and they look forward to it. And because of that, I can't skip it.
Of course.
No matter how pressured I may be with what's coming at me, if there's one thing that I'm going to do with these kids, it's going to help them breathe, help them find their presence. Even if there's an assembly in 5 minutes and that's all they've given me for class is take attendance. I'm like, nope, we're breathing. I can take attendance during the assembly.
Mhm. Yes,
So,
absolutely. I mean, we have to respect that this is a living human being, right? Like that
yeah,
respect has not been honored in our classrooms or any place, workplace, any place, right? We just want this person to come, and if we had a switch, we turn it on, and we're ready to perform.
right.
Unfortunately, we don't have a switch. I wish we can say everybody has a switch, but as that's the assumption of our school system, we can turn on and off on command to performance, but that's not
Mhm.
it. Thank you for taking the work into the classrooms and make, making our students' lives much enjoyable. Because learning is enjoyable, right? When it's done right.
Exactly. Yes.
Supposed to be. So let's go back to our inner thoughts, our head, our brain, because our brain does speak, right? It speaks louder than anything else. It's a crazy, crazy, crazy machine. Can produce more stories than ever could and make it like a fax, right? So when did you realize those voices weren't yours? Those voices we hear in our...
I was letting other people's, well, my perceived
Mm-hmm.
opinions for some people and what they might be thinking, which I have no control over, I was letting them in. And
Mm-hmm.
I was letting other people rent space in my head when they weren't paying my rent.
Big real estate. Yeah.
Yeah,
Expensive.
exactly. So I started to realize that there are some people that become a part of you, your kids, your
Mm-hmm.
spouse,
Yes.
close family and friends, but there are others that you can keep at a distance. And if they're filling your bucket, great. If they're merely emptying it, it's a time to go, okay, I need, like here they are, and I can keep that mental wall so
Mm-hmm.
that I'm present for them, but I realize that they're not with me or they aren't on the inside of me. And if anybody has ever seen the television show Everybody Loves Raymond,
Mm-hmm.
my mother-in-law was like that.
Mm-hmm.
It was like I couldn't do anything right. Here I was a single mom. And there comes a point where, um, well, two, I didn't realize that young in my life, that many years ago, that there were so many different personalities on this planet. And I mean, that sounds ridiculous, but just that I got into the Enneagram as a
Mm-hmm.
class, and all of a sudden everything made sense because now
Mm-hmm.
I'm going, oh, when my family members are acting this way, it's either a healthy part of their personality or it's not, and they are needing this, and then I can mentally go, can I give that? And I was able to say, you need this right now. Yes, you can have, how do I say, yes, you can go first, or
Mm-hmm.
yes, we can do things your way because I see you need that.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't like hearing that way, but it started a conversation of respect versus me being trampled. But
Mm-hmm.
I had to go there to say, this is the boundary.
Yeah, we have to set it up.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. So is that what it took to reclaim your inner space, the boundaries?
Yeah, it really did. So, and it was a healthy way. Now I can look at students and realize what their personalities are too.
Mm-hmm.
I can look at, and my sons knew theirs. They grew up knowing theirs, which then became a nice tool for realizing their needs. So, yeah. But also knowing who I am and what my weaknesses are and what my red flags are and what is self care. So that's important too. Yeah.
So when did you stop confusing urgency with with importance in life?
Um, Interestingly enough, I want to say within the last 10 years, it's been progress. But then when I started the holistic coach training, it was an aha moment that brought clarity. Something that knew was there, but I hadn't put words to, hadn't put experience to. And now it's beautiful to get to share with loved ones when I preach, when I'm in front of a class, when I'm around family, it becomes a conversation.
Mm.
So, yeah, it's a great way to open doors to help others be more calm, be more ready, not push.
Yes, because achievement and speed are it's like combination, right? For everything, everything we do in our life is achieve. What's the speed are you going to achieve at?
Yeah.
And then we
And
all make an equation out of it, right?
Yep.
We all build an equation around that. Some of us sacrifice ourselves to in order to achieve that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ourself and health. Sometimes it's relationships. We don't even know what we're sacrificing in it to maintain that achievement plus speed.
Oh, right. Yes.
It's interesting when I work with coaches and other clients to see the equation that we form. It's never the same. It's almost like our own DNA. Like like everybody has their own DNA print. It's almost like that. The way that we connect that. It's interesting. So interesting. Unique. Because not everybody connects the same way.
No, but think of it this way. If for those that have siblings, um, you each had a unique relationship with your parents,
Yes.
and you don't really question that. So that
Mm.
is so paralleled in this. Like you just, yeah, you absolutely connect. And yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful thing.
Yeah. So, what identity were you protecting when you kept enduring in life? Enduring.
The
Some of us,
strong,
sorry, I was going to say some of us take endurance as a badge too, right? We're so happy we endure a lot. Yeah. But go ahead. Sorry to interrupt you.
well, sometimes it's thrown at us. Like this year teaching, I'm going, oh man, there's a part of me going, this isn't right how far they've stretched me this year. Um, and then going into contest season where the kids are needing more lessons and going, when? No, this is my limit. This is my time. I can't give anymore. It's not right. So, but yeah, um, the um, it's when it's pressure and protecting that endurance. I don't know why being a martyr is so noble when it's something that is worldly self-sacrificing, if that makes sense. Like
Of
what
course.
for the paycheck, for the um,
Security.
security,
Mm.
which is really a false security.
And sometimes for love. Hmm.
Make sure, and I went on this with my middle schoolers today. Um, you want to make sure that the person, just because they give you attention and you get curious, doesn't mean that they're worthy of you. Like, wait, make sure the person deserves you and that they're worthy of who you are versus just, oh, they gave me attention. Oh, okay, I'll date. No, it's not that easy. Love isn't that. Love is that you're going through the thick and the thin and you're willing to do that for that person because they're your breath and you can't live without them
Mm.
versus the moment of, oh, they're cute, anyway. School dance, it brings up conversations, making sure these kids are treating each other appropriately. Okay.
True. Middle schoolers, yes. Let's learn. We all been there, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
So let's talk about some of the things you've unlearned, because we all have to unlearn. You can't say, "Oh, I don't need to unlearn anything," because that's just putting yourself big closure in your life, right? If you keep saying that, everyone has to unlearn, and then we can
Yes.
learn and relearn, right, all the time. So, so what belief about being a good woman cost you the most?
Having to do it all.
So, good woman
The
meant the
the good
equation of
one
do it all.
meant that I was up, I had the breakfast on the table, the kids are ready to go to school, that um my house was clean, that I would be able to be on time for everything, that I was going to be at the top of my game professionally, that I could serve on the committees. I'd have lots of energy and time for students. And then I would be able to be home and be present with my boys and be a mom. And we would be in bed on time and everything was going to go great. And I'd have the bills paid on time and I'd have um, you know, their worlds planned, their homework would be done. I'd be there to help them. It was just like the everything. So, The first thing I gave up, by the way, was cleaning the house. I was going, no, something it will be tidy, but it's not going to be the immaculate clean that I was feeling pressured from from my in-laws. So I'm going, no, it's just not happening. I said, if it bothers you that much, come over and take care of it. So my mother-in-law would come over and clean my son's bedrooms. Yeah. I'm like, okay. They can
Well,
do
there's
it themselves.
grandma's love. That's grandma's love, right? Gift.
Exactly. And I would do it for my grandchildren too, and I would do that for my sons too when they went to college. But at the time, I'm just going, no, it's too much.
It's just too many things to take care of.
Too many things. So,
how did you know clarity came from alignment instead of just living through every chaos? Like, how did you know that clarity came through alignment?
knowing where you are, and knowing your dashboard. I want to say that in the coaching journey and in the learning of this, it has been fulfilling to be able to look at my own dashboard and systems and say, oh, this is energy right now. I need to stop, be aware, and now align what I can within that system so that then it's not blocking my emotional system. So it's not blocking just the flow of how I know I can be and operate. So it helps to have that clearness, to know what your systems are, which one is blocked. And I love the analogy of a dashboard on a vehicle. If a light goes on, we stop and fix it. We want to know what it is, or we'll
at least want to notice it, right? At least want to notice it and become aware of it. Hopefully, we stop and get the manual to check out what light is saying. Hopefully.
Exactly. But as humans, we aren't given the dashboard.
No.
So once you're aware of your systems, which is so common, so basic, we know it when we see it, then we get this clarity how to operate. It becomes our user manual.
Yes. Yeah, without it, yeah. And the alignment is easy to find when you're aware. Like you started off when I asked you a question earlier, you said become here and now and be present. We would sit in silent with yourself. That space you provide for yourself. That is the awareness. Just start noticing, because we don't allow ourselves to notice because again we go back to the speed of life, right?
Yeah.
Speed of busyness and speed of everything else I need to get done. So we don't allow that notice to happen. And when you're not noticing, alignment's going to be off because you don't have time to notice. Yeah.
Exactly.
So what does strength look like now compared to before?
Strength is in the calm. There's a power in that.
Mm-hmm.
And I try, even with my students, and the joy of teaching music is that we have silence, we have symbols for it. And a lot of the power in the music isn't so much the sound, it's when everything goes silent and what that does. And so looking at ways to just bring that calm.
Yes.
Yeah, it's needed. We as humans need that. It's a time to stop, to recreate, and to recreate, if that makes sense.
Yes, I love it. Strength is in the calm. It's really hard when we live a busy life to find that calm because the speed keeps it almost impossible. And people think that if I slow down, I'm going to fail too, right? There's that common talk. Our brain talks to us about that too, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's for everything that you got done, you should have done this too. Or
Mm-hmm.
why didn't you get this other thing done?
Yes.
So, yeah.
What part of you had to die for the version of you emerged after all of this experience? Like there was somebody that you let go to be the woman you are today, right? What was that?
I had to let go of all the pressure and letting thoughts that I can't control, what people can only give what they have, and to have false expectations when they're not ready is something that just has to be released. And there's a mental freedom in that. And having a sense of purpose and that is more clear and not all over the place. So I don't believe that we're meant to be run ragged and stretched. So where is it that we can say, wait a minute, I need to stop. This may be a good thing, but is it the best thing? And if I
Mm.
say yes to this, look at all the other things that are coming with it versus can I just say no and leave it? Because it gives more presence and peace. We
Yes.
only have one go around in this life, and we're not meant to push ourselves to not enjoy it. Look at all you miss. It's like when you go for a walk, you can see much more than
Mhm.
if you drive by.
Mhm.
And if you're on a horseback, you get to take in much more um, energy and calm, but you're only going to go as fast as that horse is going to want to take. And yet, at the same time, you do get those bursts of speed. You do get that fun. You get that excitement. But then you can always, the horse, the animals love it too. That peace, that calm. And can we bring that to our kids? Can it be natural?
Mhm.
Can it be a normal? So
If we practice it, they will pick it up easily. Right?
easily.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, along with the speed, we also love strategies, right? We
Yeah.
think our solution lies in finding the next best strategy. That's why there's a lot of people online giving generic strategies and hacks and tips all the time. This works, it works, it works. Just try it, it'll work for you, right? But as holistic success coaches, we do not offer generic solutions to anyone because it's almost a crime to even say it worked for me, it will work for you. Try it, because you don't know what's going on in someone's life. You don't know what are all the variables. It's like life is an experiment. That's why we call our parenting and flow labs. It's a lab. Life is a lab,
Mm-hmm.
right? We're
Yeah.
always experimenting with different variables. It's coming, environment is giving us so many different variables at us, and we're also testing it. So when it's a testing, life is a test of all of this. I don't know which variable is in your life or in your child's life or in anyone's life. So for me to sit here, it worked for me wonderfully and it should work for you. This is the best universal hack. Here you go. It doesn't do it. So there's offering strategies. What do you listen for before you even offer it? Like what are you going to listen for? If somebody says give me the strategy, like we have parents who we work with so many parents, right? What they want is
Mm-hmm.
strategy because they want to I mean it makes sense because I want to stop the pain. I want to take care of it as quickly as possible so we can live our enjoyable life with my kids. Right now they're suffering. A lot of parents are not having great times, right?
Right.
So what do you listen for before you offer strategy?
Um, I listen for where they need to have a, a how do I say, a pause. And then I want them to feel their nervous system and not as a strategy. it's a rerouting back to themselves.
They need to come home to themselves. Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
So, and each person has their own individual journey that they're on.
Yeah. Coming home looks different for sure.
Yeah.
Like the strategy part.
It's not a one size fits all. So, it's beautiful as a coach to have the resources to help find the presence for people. And I do have to say that it's been wonderful having this journey alongside other coaches and with other coaches, and with what you have wisely provided us that helps us help people connect and reroute, and not as strategies, but just as that that re how do I say it, like getting the slate back to being clear, so that, and that's okay, so you can rebuild.
Yeah. Because when the urgency drops, right? The speed and the urgency is all about, because parenting has become like that too, right? With busy life with parents having, they also want the parenting to be that with that urgency. We put so much pressure and then we're never home. Like it's like I always compare to being the internet. Like if your internet's not working and you're trying to get online, it's similar to that. Like if you're not home here, you can't sync with your child's nervous system, or what they're going through. You're going to be opposed to each other. So it's like trying to get online when it's not working.
Right.
It's frustrating. So yeah, so strategy comes way later, way later. Readiness comes first. And that is why a lot of parents and a lot of people and even school systems are in a loop of chasing behavior after behavior, because we're not looking at it as if it's ready. Are we ready? Are we online?
Right.
Yes. How do you know when someone isn't ready yet?
There's an energy, if I can put it that way. There's an energy to like, I keep saying, being wound, and they're just needing that awareness, and being able to express that they are, how do I say, they may have physical signals, they may
Yes.
have verbal cues, and I want to get them aware of the stillness, of the breathing, of the beautiful, like, you got to let go of the past, thank it, bless it,
Mhm.
and then here's your future. Definitely bless that, but let's just work on right now, because this is
Mhm.
where your reality is, and this is where you are. Let's look around. Let's breathe this breath.
Yes. And a lot of the time when someone's not ready, it's also all the signals turns into behaviors.
Yeah.
A list of behaviors, right? So that, I mean, that's a normal thing. What we see is full of behavior is a person who's not ready. We
Right.
call it behavior, but it's actually a signal that they're giving us, and they can notice it and we don't notice it. So there's two people who's not noticing, who's now labeled as a behavior, which then extends to getting a real label through diagnoses, right? Now we got diagnosis and behavior in both hands. It
Mm-hmm.
still doesn't solve the problem.
No.
Still we don't understand the human in front of us because we haven't looked at them yet.
No. And they're
Or
looking for They
Say that
want
again.
to, they want to connect. A lot of times behaviors are them looking for connection, and sometimes they just don't know how to do it any other way.
Yes. And some people listening to us might think this sounds very gentle, and like I heard somebody even on one of our other video, they put like this sounds like a very gentle parenting. It's not gentle parenting. This is systematic. This is biology. This is psychology. This is neuroscience. You're gonna look when you know how we work. We're not just gentle parenting anybody or gentle anything. It sounds gentle because life's supposed to be gentle, right? Why would you live life and not any other way? It's supposed to be enjoyable. Life is to be enjoy and
Yes.
be gentle, be pleasant, be in harmony. But it doesn't mean that this is all biological. We are a biological system, and we
Hmm.
are bombarded with so many variables, and those variables are affecting us in different ways because I am a different human than you are, and everyone else is. We got to look at that person as a human first.
Yes.
Who's behind all of this things that we're labeling and calling all these different behaviors? Who is that person? What is that person struggling with? Where are they at? What they have gone through? What are they going through? What is their brain saying? So many things, right? So it's
Right.
not gentle. So if that's going through your head, trust me, it's not gentle.
No.
Yeah, life is supposed to be gentle though. And when you get into flow, life always it's flowing.
Hmm.
It's beautiful. So what does pacing nervous system look like in real time? Gentle, flow.
Hmm.
Right?
But getting there, it can be a journey.
Yes, of course.
Hmm.
Like any other journey, right? And that's what life is. I think that at the end of the day, I think
Right.
that's every journey is it's part of the experience. Right?
Hmm.
What happens when somebody tried to skip readiness and just go straight to achievement?
Aren't they pushing again?
Well, we're doing it at school right now. We have evidence, full-time evidence, what's happening when you skip readiness.
Yeah. It's a lot of, yeah. Oh, man, because they want factory work and apparently robots versus the ecosystem. If we could
Mm.
spend time listening to students and it's hard because the class sizes are huge. And
Yeah, it is.
it's just one adult that has to regulate, or help all these kids stay regulated.
If
So,
we go back to our analogy of being in a life is a laboratory, life is an experiment. We're all
mhm,
conducting our own experiment. For a teacher, that's sometimes 28 experiments happening in front of her, plus her own body's experiments happening. So that's 27 or 30, close to. Sometimes class sizes are big.
yeah,
So it's a lot of experiment to maintain and make sure all variables are doing what they're supposed to do.
yeah, right,
And then we all remember having a chemistry lab when we tried to control some experiments, right? How much we had to watch.
yeah,
If you had ever done equilibrium, like you got to watch a tiny drop of something would just we passed
yep,
the point. So that's how life is. That's how kids are.
yeah,
But a teacher with 30 kids cannot watch that closely. What's happening?
right,
So
yeah,
no wonder we have lots of behaviors that we have to figure out.
mhm,
Yes. No, readiness, skipping readiness is the result of the life we have. Like, and then we become adults and then look at all the personal development we have to do on ourselves. Like, we exit the school system, and then in our 40s and 50s, we still don't know who we are. We're not home.
right,
We're still searching.
yeah.
So it continues. And then,
It would,
go ahead.
it would be so beautiful if our educational system could take a step back and let
And teach
humans
all of us.
and um, but I'm not talking in a gentle way at all. I mean, um, tone in a classroom can say a lot.
Yeah.
Tone in parenting does too.
Yes.
And if you're calmly being assertive to a child, like, stop that now, versus, oh, stop that now. Stop that now. Which one is going to bring about the greater want of change or attention?
Yeah.
Just be assertive. Stop that now.
Mhm.
And
Huh.
it's the same in a classroom. So there's so many ways that we react as humans. And if we, put ourselves in each other's shoes a bit more, yeah, and some people though aren't able to walk in other people's shoes, and that's where the readiness needs to be. And yeah, oh,
Yeah, when readiness is present, you're always very good. You're in a state of grace. Always, you have space for people. You have capacity to hold others, capacity to see others, what they're suffering through. Just gives you so much space because you're present, right? The
yeah,
present that you talked about early. That's what readiness is all about. And when I'm present, I can give all the capacity for the other person who's in front of me.
exactly. It starts with that self-centering,
Yes.
bringing the calm, and just letting people talk, letting people share when they need. And then, or if you're not able to in that time, just say, wait, I can hear, if you can hold that thought, if you could write it down for me, I will meet you back. And I've got you.
Yes. From your article, Coach Jill, I took some questions to ask the listeners, like that we can, have. I know you don't have these; I have them in front of me. But where one of the questions we could ask the audience is like, where are you still trying harder instead of restoring readiness? And if you don't know what readiness is, because obviously it's something that we use in our program, and it's a thing that's going to be everywhere. That's what we're doing right now. You're gonna learn, but until you know, one of the readiness is being here and now. That's a huge one. That if you cannot do anything, just be aware and notice everything about yourself. Because a lot of the time we notice everything about other people. Do you agree?
Yep.
He's like that, she's like this, he's doing that, but how about what are you doing? What am I doing, right? So the first step is, those of you who are listening to us, start, instead of trying harder to restore readiness, just start noticing. Don't do anything, just notice, right?
Exactly.
And another beautiful thing you shared was, whose voice is renting space in your head right now? It's a good question to ponder on. Maybe there's few people renting space and they've been renting it for too long. Way too long. And it's the most important real estate in your life. So the next question for anyone who's got people renting space in their head right now would be, at what cost are they renting? What are they costing you?
Mhm.
In what part of your life, what are they costing you? If they're costing you, I mean, if you bought a real estate and it's really costly, you paid for it and it's doing nothing except costing you, you wouldn't keep it, right? It's not an investment. So why are you keeping it in your head? A good question, right? Questions are good. Questions are powerful. We ought to ask them. Yes.
Mhm.
What are you enduring that no longer proves your worth? Oh, I love this one. How many of us endure stuff to prove our worth? That equation is huge. So this is a giant equation that we tangle with a lot of different things. Yeah, it takes an interesting approach to take it apart, but it's doable. I've seen it again and again. When it comes up, it's the most freeing feeling you'll ever have in your life. When you
Yeah.
can separate worth from enduring. It's a huge equation. So if readiness led your next decision, what would change this week? So think about it. If readiness led your next decision, what would change this week? So this is for audience to think about. So as I said, if you don't know anything about readiness, one piece that's powerful than anything you'll ever hear from us is start becoming notice what's happening to you, not others. Just notice this way, because everything relies on you first, not anyone else, right?
Right.
Anything else you want to add?
It's worth it. You're worth it.
Of course. Love it. Love it. Anything else? That's it. So what is readiness for you? What is readiness for you? Finish the sentence for me. Readiness is
Calm and clarity and being aware.
Calm, clear, aware, and notice. Love it. Love it. Thank you so much. And those of you who are listening, if you haven't got your magazine yet, there's a link. Click the link. And when you go there, put in the word flow, all capital FLOW, and you'll have access to this and all our magazines. And all of the articles are here in this magazine. You can read and give us comments. And if you want anything else you want us to write or talk about, send it to us. Comments are amazing. We love to hear from you. And we're bringing this because we need to end try harder. Just speed through life. Just get it done. Like all of that needs to go because that's not enjoyable. Life is supposed to be enjoyable. So thank you so much. Thank you, Coach Jill, for being with me today and with all of us. And we will be back again. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.